AITA. I let my 17-year-old daughter sneak out. My daughter turns 18 in a couple of months. She came to me and asked if she could have the experience of sneaking out. She told me who she would be with, what she would be doing and when. I said yes. I did not tell my husband, her stepdad. Well, she didn't put her screen back on the window. When my husband noticed, he came to talk to me about it. I told him that I gave her permission to sneak out. He wants to punish her. I said no because I gave her permission. He is really upset and it looks like this is going to ruin Thanksgiving. She's a good kid, currently has all A's. He has been in her life since she was 5, and we sometimes butt heads about parenting styles. I just wanted to ask AITA. Update, he has calmed down now. He no longer wants to punish her. But his feelings are hurt. And what you guys think and advise for OP's situation? What would you do if you're on her situation? Let me know on the comments section. Now let's go to the top 3 comments on community comments section. What's their opinion about this? From Something Lucky 07. I'm sorry, the idea of a daughter asking for permission to sneak out is just so cute. Good kids trying to be bad and have a tiny rebellious phase. NTA, I think the things to ask your husband are, 1. Is he upset that you gave her permission to go out with friends without his knowing? If so, his issue is with you, not her. 2. Is he upset that she crawled out the window instead of using the door? Because if the answer to 1 is no, if you've given her permission to go out before without running it by him, then the issue really becomes that she used a window instead of a door. Is that really a thing to punish a kid for? Honestly, he should show her how to reattach the screen, and then be grateful that he has a kid whose biggest rebellious phase is checking with her mom before going out with friends. And then using the window instead of the door when she leaves. Let's put this in perspective here. From Worried One. NTA. It sounds like a very cute request from a 17 years old. You did a good job raising her. I don't understand what your husband has to be upset about. What does he want to punish her for? For me _who_ is _person. You're the mother. He's the stepfather. And you gave her permission. In fact, it's not even sneaking out because you gave permission. It was role-playing sneaking out. Your husband is being a giant ass. NTA for not punishing her. It'd be sadistic to punish her for something you told her to do.
And here's our next story. AITA for saying I will call social services. If my Sil keeps leaving her child at my place, I 30 female have a half-brother, Enzo 40 male. We're not very close since we were both raised with our respective mothers. But he has always gone out of his way to help me with anything I've needed. Enzo married his wife Steph 33 female 2 years ago. Steph has a daughter, Alice with her ex, but has sole custody. And Enzo and Steph have a 7-mo son Teddy. I also have a 3-year-old daughter. Enzo and Steph moved to the city I live in when Steph got pregnant. And since then, Steph developed a habit of showing up at my apartment building unannounced. It became a problem. And I talked to both her and Enzo about it, and she stopped until she gave birth. Now, she regularly drops by unannounced to leave Alice at my building for babysitting. While she has to run errands or something. She's had her carpool drop Alice off at my apartment before. My poor housekeeper is a wonderful woman who has had to deal with Alice arriving unexpectedly while I'm out, and I feel terrible about it. I've told the concierge not to let her up and to say no one is in. But then I'll arrive to Alice waiting in the lobby, which is not safe, and the concierge has told me I can't make them responsible for a child. Steph keeps saying she only does it when she's desperate. But I don't see how she can be that desperate to run errands at least twice a week. And frankly, I'm not a nanny if she's desperate. She needs to hire some help. I've spoken to Enzo, and he is always extremely apologetic. And says he will talk to her, and I believe he does. But he also works during the day, and can't police where she is at all hours. I reached my breaking point a couple of days ago, when I returned from lunch to find Alice at home. Having been dropped off since she had a half day at school, I apologized profusely to my housekeeper, who had spent time playing babysitter, and called Steph. No answer. I called her several times. And then Enzo, who was on a business trip and distraught over the situation. Steph eventually turned up a couple of hours later. And I went ballistic. I said if she ever leaves Alice at my building again, I will call social services. And I will call them every single time she drops Alice off with me until they do something. Because this is not my job and she is an irresponsible and neglectful parent. She burst into tears and begged me to help out with Alice, but I said no and reminded her I'd never said yes in the first place. She just kept dumping her kid here. Steph kept trying to guilt-trip me, but I was too exhausted and upset about the situation to be receptive, and eventually my husband had to tell her to leave. I feel bad because, as I said, Enzo has never been anything but the most accommodating person where I'm concerned. And maybe treating his wife like that was harsh, but at the same time I chose to have one kid. Because I don't want another one. Steph can't use my house as a daycare. Was I too harsh? And what you guys think and advise for OP's situation? What would you do if you're on her situation? Let me know on the comment section. Now let's go to the top 3 comments on community comment section. What's their opinion about this? From Chris 80 to 1868 NTA. She may also flat out need to be told that you did not hire your housekeeper to watch her child. How unfair for her to be infringed on like that. Have you told her directly she is free to tell Sil that she is not babysitting? It's not what she's hired to do. From Ultimate Weather NTA, she's being careless. And her daughter is going to end up getting hurt by her mother's actions. What happens when you're housekeeper and you aren't home and she ends up getting hurt or worse? From Fragrant Economist 386 NTA, do it. Steph is not entitled to your free services as a daycare. I also think is kind of sus. Where is the other child during this, and why does she feel the need to get rid of Alice so often?